So let's begin with this problem. Write the fraction 4 over 3, 4/3, as a quotient. That means 4 is being divided by 3, so 4 divided by 3. Number 2, I'm going to show you this one way and then I'm going to actually let you see it a visual way. 8 friends split 3 ice cream sundaes equally. What fraction of a sundae will each person eat? Well, we have 3 sundaes being divided by 8 friends, so 3 divided by 8 is 3/8. Okay, so that's the answer, but let's look at visually why that works. So imagine each one of these rectangles is a sundae. I have 1, 2, 3 sundaes, and I'm going to split them amongst 8 friends whose names begin with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 friends. And each of them is going to get 3/8 of one sundae. So we have Al, he's going to get 1, 2, 3/8 of a sundae. Then we have Bev, she's going to get 1, 2, 3/8 of a sundae. Chuck is going to get 1, 2, 3/8 of a sundae, so he's going to go on to get 2 of the 8th here and then another 8th there. Dan will get 1, 2, 3/8 of a sundae. Ed, same thing with Ed, he's going to get 3/8 of a sundae. Faz is going to get 1, 2, 3/8 of this sundae. Gil will get 1, 2, 3/8 of a sundae, leaving with the last person, Hill, 1, 2, 3/8 of a sundae. All right, so splitting 3 whole sundaes 8 ways means each person gets 3/8. Number 3, write 9/10 as a fraction or mixed number. Well, 9 divided by 10 is going to be a number less than 1, meaning that it's just a plain old fraction, 9 over 10, 9/10. Number 4, 12, write 12/7 as a fraction or mixed number. Well, 12/7 means 12 is being divided by 7, which is 7 goes in, we can do it this way too, 12 divided by 7. 7 goes into 12 one time, 1 times 7 is 7. My remainder is 5, so it's 1 with a remainder of 5, better known as 1 and 5 over 7. So this one is a mixed number, which makes sense because 12 is being divided by 7, meaning it's going to be a fraction greater than 1. Number 5, use the model to help you answer the questions, or the question if necessary. If 6 wholes are divided into equal pieces that are 1/4 each, 1/4 of a whole each, how many pieces are there? So if you think about it, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wholes. And each of them is divided into, if you take a look, I'm going to look right here. This is divided into 1, 2, 3, 4 equally sized pieces. Right? So 6 divided into pieces that are 1/4 of a whole each means I would have, and if you count them up, you can see there are 24 of them. The answer is 24. The other mathematical, this the visual way of seeing it. The other way of doing it is 6 divided by 1/4 is the same as 6 times the reciprocal of 1/4 is 4 over 1, or just 4. So 6 times 4 is 24. Number 6, use the model to help answer the question if necessary. I have 2 holes, so this one circle is one hole, this other circle is another hole. They are divided into pieces that are 1/8 of a whole. How many pieces are there? Well, 2 divided by 1/8 is the same as 2 times the reciprocal of 1/8, which is 8 over 1, or just 8, which means there are 16 pieces that are 1/8 of a whole. That's some bad handwriting. Let's actually erase that. My wife's in the kitchen, I think, laughing at me talking to myself at the computer. Are you? She shakes her head no. Number 7, 1/4 divided by 3. Use a tape diagram to help you visualize if you need. Well, 1/4 divided by 3. If you think about it, it says right here, this whole tape diagram represents 1. And if I break it into 4 equal parts, that's 1 equal, 2 equal, 3 equal, 4 equal parts, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And those 4 equal parts are broken up into 3 additional equal parts. Well, you can see that leaves us with this piece right there, right? Which, if you count, is 1 out of 12. So the answer is 1/12. Right? If you have to stop the video and count the pieces, you can do that. Or if you want, 1/4 divided by 3 is the same as 1/4 times the reciprocal of 3 over 1, which is 1/3. So that is also another way of getting 1/12. Which image shows 1/5 divided by 3? So let's do it this way first. 1/5 divided by 3 should be the same as 1/5 times the reciprocal of 3 over 1, or which is 1/3, gives us 1/15. Right? So which tape diagram is broken up into 15 pieces? The answer is B, right? Which, if you count them, you could see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. But if you look closer, you will see that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then if you look at the end here, 5 equally sized pieces that are broken up into 3 more equally sized pieces, meaning that you get 1/5 divided by 3 is 1/15. The answer is B. Number 9, 6 divided by 1/3. Let's do it the plain old way, and then we'll do it a visual way. 6 divided by 1/3, excuse me, is the same as 6 times the reciprocal of 1/3, which is 3, which means 6 times 3 is equal to 18. Now I'm going to show you a visual. Imagine I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 whole circles, and each of the circles is broken up into groups of 1/3. So that's 1 group of 1/3, 2 groups of 1/3, 3 groups of 1/3, right? So 3/3. Right? Well, how many groups of 1/3 are there? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and I'll move that dot over there to make that 18. You get what I'm saying. Little mess up with my dots, but there you go. Now I have a dot in each of the different pieces. So you have 18 equally sized parts of 1/3, so 6 divided by 1/3 is 18. 1/8 divided by 2, well, that's 1/8 divided by 2 is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal, 1/2. So that gives me 1/16. So if I take 1/8 and divide it by 2, I get 1/16. All right. This visual is going to be a little bit different, but I'm going to show you anyway. This right here, imagine the entire rectangle is one whole. Well, what's shaded? 1/8, right? This is one piece out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equally sized pieces. Well, if I were to cut all the pieces in half, so I'll cut these pieces in half, cut these pieces in half, you'll now see I have 18 pieces, but cutting this one in half means I'm only talking about this part of it. So 1/8 divided by 2, taking this piece dividing by 2, gives me 1/16. And if you need to pause to count the boxes, you can. Which expression is equal to 9 over 4? Well, 9 over 4 means 9 divided by 4. So that's our answer. Number 13, which expression is equal to 6 divided by 5? Well, 6 divided by 5 is the fraction 6 over 5. Number 14, if 10 people needed to evenly split $14, each person would get, well, if I take 14 things and divide it among 10 people, right, each person would get one thing with 4/10 left over, 1 4/10, right? So that means each person would get not between $0 and $1, they'd get between $1 and $2. Number 15, if 6 students need to equally split 50 crayons, each student would get, okay, well, what are we splitting here? We have 50 crayons split, not even a word, split 6 ways. That means 50 divided by 6 is going to be 8, and we have a remainder of, 6 times 8 is 48, so remainder 2, so 8 remainder 2 or 8 and 2/6. Kind of wrote that a little sloppy, 8 and 2/6. Well, which of these answers make sense? Not between 0 and 1 crayons, not between 3 and 4, it's between 8 and 9 crayons. So there's our answer. Number 16, 9 students are equally sharing 5 gallons of orange juice. How many gallons of orange juice would each student get? Well, 5 gallons divided by 9 students, 5/9 of a gallon. Number 17, which equation shows the same relationship as 12 equals 6 divided by a half? I'm going to show this a couple of different ways. All right. The first way I want to talk about is I'm going to use numbers that aren't up here, numbers that are nice and easy to work with. So for example, if I had, let's say 10 is equal to 20 divided by 2, right? This is a true statement, right? 20 divided by 2 is equal to 10, and it's the same setup. It's a number equals something divided by another number. So you should agree with everything you see here, right? What does that mean? That means if I can look at it as 20 divided by 10 would equal 2, so 20 divided by 10 equals 2. Right? I could also look at it as 2 times 10 equals 20, so 2 times 10 equals 20. So these are like fact families, right? So using the same setup here, right? So 20 goes on is above the 6. This is the same as 6 divided by, let me take a step back, divided by 6 divided by 12, 6 divided by 12 equals 1/2, that's true. Or another way of looking at it is 1/2 times, what number is under the 10 is 12, 1/2 times 12 is equal to, 20 is above the 6, equal to 6, right? So these are all true statements, right? 6 divided by 12 is 1/2, 1/2 times 12 equals 6, right? So let's look at these answer choices. First of all, does one of them look like this? Well, 1/2 times 12 equals 6 is basically this answer right here, right? And mathematically it makes sense. But let's try the other ones to see if they mathematically make sense. How about 1/2 times 6? Half of 6 is 3. This one's just not even true at all. Or this one, 12 times 6 is 72. 12 times 6 doesn't equal a half. See, if you see things that are just flat out false, you can't go by that. This is true, and this one's true. That was a little bit of a long explanation. Mr. Olkowski wants to solve 4 divided by a half equals m. Which multiplication equation can he use? Well, 4 divided by a half is the same as 4 times the reciprocal of 1/2, which is 2, which means 4 times 2 is m, or m is equal to 8, or 8 is equal to m. All right, let's plug in 8 and see if these are true. Ready? 8 times 1/2 equals 4. Is that true? Yeah, it is. So this one looks like it's good. Let's just check the other ones. 1/2 times 4, half of 4 is 2. Well, that's not what m is. M is equal to 8, so this one's out. How about 4 times 1/2? Well, it's just the reverse of 1/2 times 4. It's also going to be equal to 2. So this one is also false, so the only one that works is this first one, choice A. Number 19. Which problem can we solve by 6 divided by a third? Circle your response. So first answer true is Charlie wants to run a total of 6 miles. He runs 1/3 mile of a mile at a time. How many times will Charlie need to run to complete his goal? So if I take 6 and divide it into groups of 1/3, wait a minute, that's exactly what's happening. So this one looks okay. Let's look at choice B. The Cheez-It factory puts 1/3 of a pound of cheese into each batch of crackers. How many pounds of cheese will the factory use for 6 batches? Well, is this a division problem? How many pounds of cheese will the factory use for 6 batches? If it uses 1/3 of a pound for each batch. This is actually a multiplication problem. 6 times 1/3. So that's out. Answer choice C. Sam is making a salad. He has 6 ounces of tomatoes. He mixes the tomatoes with 1/3 ounce of cucumbers. How many ounces of tomatoes and cucumbers will his salad have? Well, this is an addition problem. This is 6 plus 1/3, so that one's not going to match the expression up there. And the last one is Tony ran 6 miles. Mike ran 1/3 fewer miles than Tony. How many miles did Mike run? Well, this is a subtraction problem. This is 6 minus 1/3. So once again, an answer that doesn't make sense and an answer that doesn't make sense. Answer A is the one that works. And finally, Mrs. Teeter has 10 pizzas and she wants to give 1/4 of a pizza to each of her friends. How many friends can she split the pizzas with? Showed this question to Mrs. Teeter and she told me I cannot end a sentence with a preposition, so good thing I teach math. 10 pizzas divided by 1/4, that means everybody gets a quarter of a pizza, is the same as 10 pizzas times the reciprocal, which is 4/1, which means Mrs. Teeter has 40 friends, which is about 47 friends more than Mr. Lab has. Think about it, you'll get the joke.